truthfully, the debate is probably already settled. We're pretty much resigned to the fact that the Boston Celtics will select Markelle Fultz, point guard out of Washington, with the number 1 overall pick on draft night. But I kind of want to debate why it could be a good idea for maybe the Celtics to consider maybe trading this number 1 overall pick. Kind of what maybe they can get out of it. So the mentality going into this NBA draft is we're about 98, 99% sure that the Celtics will be taking Markelle Fultz out of Washington. But it could be a kind of a dangerous thing to do. And I'm going to kind of explain why it wouldn't hurt that bad if they ended up trading this pick. But I'll kind of explain why they will do it or why they won't do it. Why they will do it is pretty simple. It's, do they want to win now? Do they want to get a banner in Boston right now? Because right now, LeBron James is running the Eastern Conference. And he's going to until he decides to hang them up. Which may not be for about maybe another 3 to 4 to 5 years. I would say it's going to take at least, I think LeBron's got at least 4 years left in him. Because he's only 32 years old, so he'll be about 36 or 37 after 4 years. But does he want to go on like Tim Duncan and play till he's a little bit older than that? Because LeBron James is kind of getting a little bit closer to kind of the age where most athletes decide to hang it up. Mostly NBA players or NFL players decide to just hang him up. So do they want to win next year, or do they want to win in 2018, 2019? Or do they want to wait and win in like maybe 2022 or 2023 to possibly have the new dynasty? Because you don't remember me saying in my NBA Mock Draft 3.0, I feel like as soon as LeBron hangs them up, I feel like Boston is going to be running the Eastern Conference. Them and the Wizards will be competing for the Eastern Conference every single year, is what I stated in that statement. Because the Wizards are set up for the future with John Wall, Bradley Beal, etc., etc. Kelly Oubre, etc. And Boston right now has Isaiah Thomas, Avery Bradley, Jay Crowder, Jared Sullinger, Kelly Olynyk, etc., etc. But do they want to dethrone LeBron right now? But if Boston is in the win now mentality, they'll trade this number 1 overall pick. They'll try to trade for somebody that's a win now player, like Paul George with the Pacers, or Jimmy Butler of the Bulls, Klay Thompson of the Warriors. But if they try to trade for someone like Klay Thompson, if they give up something else in addition, besides the number 1 overall pick, they could maybe include the first round pick next year, since it's a high possibility that the Nets will probably have a top 5 pick next year as well. At least possibly a top 3 pick. Or they could maybe trade somebody like maybe Jay Crowder. Or they could trade maybe Kelly Olynyk. Which wouldn't be too bad if you want to get somebody that's in a win-now state like Jimmy Butler or Paul George. Even though there is a strong chance that they have Gordon Hayward coming in as a free agent next year, because he has opted out of his contract. Or will Blake Griffin end up being traded somewhere like the Knicks? Or maybe they can try to trade for Kristaps Porzingis, because I've read some kind of rumors that the Knicks are interested in trading Kristaps Porzingis, and the Clippers should have traded Blake Griffin at the trade deadline last year. And plus, I kind of want to go through a list of kind of the history of number 1 overall picks. I'm going to start off with 2002 with the Rockets taking Yao Ming. Other than Trace McGrady, probably the only player that had relevance to the Houston Rockets until James Harden, but James Harden wasn't drafted by these Houston Rockets. As we all know, they had a big 3 going on just a few years ago. Many Thunder fans will say that their owner was kind of greedy and couldn't figure out Harden's salary cap. 2003 LeBron James. So it's obvious he's, out of the number 1 overall picks, he's done the most production out of anybody in this generation. 2004 Dwight Howard. not necessarily the best teammate in the world. Only one NBA Finals appearance, and they lost in 5 games to the Lakers. 2005, Andrew Bogut. He's bounced around from team to team. 2006, Andrea Bargnani. Haven't heard of him, and we haven't heard anything from him in a couple of years now. Greg Oden, probably the biggest bust in NBA draft history. 2008, Derrick Rose, injury prone. 2009, Blake Griffin, not the best teammate. Somebody that kind of has somewhat anger issues. It seems that he's very unhappy in Los Angeles. 2010, the Wizards taking John Wall. The future of the team, as I said, the Wizards and Celtics will be running the Eastern Conference within the next 3 to 4 seasons. 2011, Kyrie Irving, the second best productive first overall pick in this century generation, however you want to state it. Anthony Davis in 2012. I feel like he's one of those guys that deserves way better. 2013, Anthony Bennett, probably the second biggest bust in NBA draft history. The 2013 class wasn't that deep at all. 2014, Andrew Wiggins, which ended up being traded to Minnesota so Kevin Love can come to Cleveland. 2015, Karl Anthony Towns, who is on the rise to be an elite player, but he needs some support around him. And last year, Ben Simmons is yet to see the NBA floor. So if we count him, if we basically get all the picks from 2002 to 2016, which is roughly about 14 years, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You get about 5 to 6 good solid things out of 6 out of 14. Karl Anthony Towns, someone that kind of needs support around him. Anthony Davis kind of deserves better. As I said in the DeMarcus Cousins trade deadline video, I'm not buying the hype of Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins working together. Kyrie Irving, John Wall, LeBron James, Yao Ming, probably the 4 that were the best productive for their respective teams. I mean, Derrick Rose and Blake Griffin were great first overall pick selections, but Derrick Rose is injury prone. Blake Griffin is not necessarily the happiest person in LA necessarily. And Anthony Bennett was just a straight bust. Greg Oden was a straight bust. Andrew Wiggins didn't even see the court in Cleveland because he was traded for Kevin Love. So I think he didn't see the court in his rookie season in Cleveland. So basically you have about a 50-50 shot. Either he's going to be the one that changes the franchise, the one that turns it into a dominant force, or he's going to be a complete bust. So basically got a 50-50 shot at this point, or somewhere near that. In fact, put in Anthony Davis and Karl Anthony Towns, you get about 8 out of 14. So you're in the range of about maybe 45% to about 65% that it's going to definitely work out. He's going to change the franchise completely. And plus, there's a 35% chance it's going to be a complete bust, and it's just going to completely blow in their face. But here's why they will take Markelle Fultz. I think they'll take Markelle Fultz because he's NBA ready. I think he is probably the best number 1 overall pick that we're going to probably see that has potential being number 1. But I feel like Lonzo Ball could have been number 1 overall pick. If the Lakers would have won the draft lottery, maybe they would have had Lonzo Ball number 1 overall. But I still feel like Markelle Fultz will do much better in the NBA than Lonzo Ball will. Because Markelle Fultz doesn't have all these distractions. Boston fans seem to like him already. Boston fans are waiting to buy his jersey the moment he gets drafted. So I'm going to kind of leave it at that. Like and subscribe to the channel. Share this video with your friends and family. Follow me on Twitter, JV Talk Sports. I will see you next time.